Presence isn't really a doing. It's more so being who you are. Just feel the energy field in your hands. Just to be mindful of what's going on now and to be aware of your thoughts and to know that I'm not my thoughts. I am that which is aware of them. And then from that place, you don't get trapped in as much stuff. And the more you practice kind of just being, the less things will
start to niggle at you.
Yeah.
Calling in all entrepreneurs, light workers, star seeds who are here ready to make impact, more money on this earth and shift to the fifth dimension. Are you ready to ascend? Welcome back to another incredible Ascension Codes Podcast. Guys, my beautiful friend, the famous Teddy Creams is here. He is here to help inspire you guys, to give you guys some incredible fucking knowledge today. I've got some wild stories about how we met. And the first time we met, he made me sit in front of a mirror and stare at myself. Guys, the story's going to come. He is an international touring DJ. He runs his own club nights and he also has his own DJ agency, how he inspires and helps other DJs become well known, right? This man is so incredibly phenomenal. And what's even deeper than that is that he is such an incredibly powerful, potent human. He holds the most presence I have been able to receive in a man ever, and I'm so grateful for that. And the knowledge and the spirituality that this man, the wisdom that this man has, oh, guys, this is going to be the juiciest fucking episode, and I'm so excited. So welcome to the episode, Brandon. Hi, babe.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you. So for those of you who don't know who you are you, what do you do, and how do you help serve humanity?
That's a good question. First and foremost, I am a soul.
Yes.
I am loving awareness, right?
Yes.
But the character of Brandon, I'm a touring DJ, I'm a mentor and all the things. But yeah, I inspire. I would say my purpose on this earth is to inspire and empower people to live a life beyond their wildest dreams.
And you're so the embodiment of that. You know, watching you stand on stage in front of thousands, like what's the biggest amount of people you've ever played in front of?
Probably 20,000.
You're so cool.
Yeah.
20,000 fucking people. And what was it like when you first started touring? What was it like when you actually got on stage and started, you know, DJing in front of fucking 20,000 people? I'd shit my fucking pants.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, I always loved being the center of attention. Always dancing, always like having fun.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I thrive in that environment. I wanted to be a rock star when I was a kid. Like,
you are a rock star, babe.
Like I was all throughout my youth, just watching like rock stars, like concerts. I'm like, I want to do that. And it's kind of cool that I am doing that in a different way.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I love that.
That's the best.
Yeah, totally. And let's go back to the start of your journey. So you just mentioned that you've always wanted to be a rock star. What was it like for you when you first got into DJing? How old were you? And when did you actually have the idea, fuck, I can actually do this and make a lot of money and actually be and live this rock star life?
Yeah. Well, I never had the thought about like making money from it. It was just something that I loved so much.
Right.
I started DJing when I was about 13.
Wow.
I'm 27 now. So
13 years old.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah. Guys, that's wild. And so going back to when you were 13, you started, and then what was the road for you? When did you get into DJing and how was it for you?
Yeah. So I started off like playing around online, kind of teaching myself. And then I met my DJ partner, Vince, who we're not together anymore. I'm doing solo, but we were a duo for a long time. Met him and we started playing at under 18 parties.
Right.
And everyone's birthdays, like 16th birthdays and all that kind of thing. And pretty much as soon as we turned 18, it was bang straight into the clubs.
Wow.
Became fan favorites at, you know, all of the clubs. And then from there, it went to international touring, interstate touring.
Yep.
And then from there, it like skyrocketed off into international and been doing that ever since.
Wow. And so when you went from interstate to international, what do you think was the key shift that you had to do from within you to actually hold that or do that?
Yeah, wow. That's a deep question. I don't feel like I ever thought about myself. The whole time it's been, and it's the first thing that I teach my DJ clients, students, is it's not about you.
Yeah.
Is, you're entitled to nothing. But when you're up there playing on that stage, your job is to give people a beautiful experience, a night that they will never forget. And so for me, it's always just been about how may I serve these people in the best way that I possibly can.
Wow.
And I think that's kind of, it's trickled over into like all other areas of my life.
Totally.
So yeah, I never really got in my head about it. It was just how can I pour my soul and my energy and my spirit into serving these people, because listening to music and being in that environment, we don't know like what people are going through. They come in there for like a bit of a release, to dance, to move, to be, to feel like juiced up.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I just love helping people in that way, and it's never been about me.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Who knew that being a DJ was so spiritual? That's so cool.
I didn't realize until I looked back and
Course.
reflected. I'm like, why? Like I'm definitely like a spiritual
Of course you are.
kind of guy. But I'm like, why did I get into DJing? And I actually had he's quite a famous channel. His name's Lee Harris. He does like energy updates and things on YouTube. And he messaged me on Instagram one day saying, the DJ work that you're doing is like a great spiritual work for humanity. And I was just, and then it dropped in that moment. I was just like, you know what, he's right. Like everything is energy. And then I'm there performing and pouring my heart out. And like, that is, it is service.
Yeah.
It is, heart to heart. So yeah.
Wow, I love that. And so going on with that thread, I would love you to tell everyone about what your spiritual beliefs and your spiritual practices are. Guys, this man is so incredible. He's so much more than a DJ. Like, he's so deep and he's so detailed, and he's just gone around India following his spirit guide and going to different ashrams and experiencing the most wild journeys of himself. And so I'd love you to tell my listeners all about that.
Sure. So originally, like, my spiritual journey started off with, I think my mum gave me The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, what a book. What a book.
I know. And The Secret, like Law of
course.
Attraction. And then I got into, so it was after I struggled with addiction to drugs for 10 years, long time.
Yeah.
And it was during COVID where I really had, I would say, an awakening experience, because I was in this cycle of doing coke and binge drinking.
Yeah.
And I had like a rock bottom moment where I'm like, there's got to be more to life than this. Like, I know that I have more to give.
Yeah.
Like, more, I just felt out of alignment completely. And so I found like Wayne Dyer, and then that led into Ram Dass.
Yeah.
And Ram Dass, listening to him, like it blew my heart wide open.
Wow.
And then I actually heard about his guru, who's passed now, but he was like known as a great saint in India. His name's Neem Karoli Baba, Maharaji, as Ram Dass calls him. And I just felt so connected. I remember I watched a documentary on Netflix. It's called Going Home.
Yes.
By Ram Dass.
Yes.
And I sat there, I watched it. I was bawling my eyes out, crying the whole time. And it was the first time I felt at one, like I felt like I was at I don't even know how to describe it. I felt like I was the whole universe. Like I had an awakening experience during that Netflix documentary, and that kind of led me on a crazy spiritual quest since. But really, it did serve to open my heart. And then I did a European tour, DJing,
Of course.
a big tour, and then I was just like, you know what, I want to go to because I heard Ram Dass speaking about all of these amazing miracles that had happened in the temples and the ashrams in India, like on the foothills of the Himalayas.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck, I want to go.
I want to go as well. I'm like, take
I know,
me.
I want to go, and so
Fuck yeah.
so I went, and
Cool.
I went to all the different ashrams that Neem Karoli Baba spent time with. Ram Dass and Krishna Das. Some people listening would probably have listened to the kirtans that he does. It's so beautiful.
So beautiful.
And yeah, it was just an incredible experience. The energy, the thickness of that love, the divine love. Like there isn't really a word to describe, but it was there, so powerful and potent, and
wow.
I can't really
It's that
describe
real
it.
oneness, isn't it? Of like
that
I like to call it unity consciousness.
unity consciousness.
Where we were in the abyss of nothingness and everythingness and I amness.
Yes.
And it just isness.
Yes,
Right? Like
yes.
there's nothing else to describe. It just isness. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's so beautiful. You're a coach that is wanting to hit 10K months consistently. You're wanting to learn the energetics, the mindset, and the mission statement of what you're here to bring into humanity. If you're wanting to learn the strategies, the systems of how I've been able to hold $1 million business in my second year, babes, I have got something juicy for you. I have created a business and spiritual container called Unity Consciousness for the purpose of allowing you to access your innate gifts, to help you level up in your business and help you make consistent cash flow that you can then go out and live your most joyous freedom lifestyle. If you would like to find out more, click on the link down below. And so what was the most profound thing, other than the isness, what was the most profound thing, miracle, conversation that you had whilst you were away?
In India?
Yeah.
So there's an ashram in a place called Vrindavan, and it's where Maharaji's was cremated. So they've built like a beautiful shrine there. And when I walked in, I literally walked into the temple and I collapsed like on the floor, like bawling my eyes out, crying hysterically for about 2 hours.
Was that with joy of love? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought so.
Just like an overflow of joy and love. And like there's a little line in the Bible that says like my cup runneth over. Like my cup runs over. That's what I felt like. I was overflowing with spiritual energy and love and joy and
wow.
Yes.
Just essence.
yeah, yum.
Yum. Yum.
Yum.
I love saying that.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. And so for those beautiful people that are listening right now, if they wanted to get into finding their own quest and their own journey, what is one piece of advice that you would give them?
Start with presence.
Yeah.
Because if you're in your head, most people live their lives in their head. Like in some form of a dream, imagination, like either like, dwelling in the past or being like just focused on what might happen in the future. And I'm as aspirational as anyone. Like I have amazing dreams, but I feel like to be grounded here and now is the first step to awakening that spiritual part of yourself, because we really have to, like right now, here we are, like nothing else really exists. And so presence, number one, and the second is love.
Yeah.
And so opening your heart, learning to open your heart and to love unconditionally.
And if we were to go back to presence, how would you tell someone to do presence? Or how would you give them a gift of letting them to know what presence is or how they're doing it or if they're doing it right?
Presence isn't really a doing. It's more so just being who you are. And so I guess coming back now. Like you can use your hands and like to just feel the energy field in your hands. It's the quickest way.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, just to be mindful of what's going on now.
Love it.
And to be aware of your thoughts. And to know that, I'm not my thoughts. I'm that which is aware of them.
Yes, I love that.
And then from that place, you don't get trapped in as much stuff. And the more you practice kind of just being, the less things will
start to niggle at you.
Yeah.
Nice. One of the best books I ever read was Becoming a Monk by Shetty. And he speaks a lot about...
Think Like a Monk.
Think Like a Monk, that's it, thank you. And just like that, the essence of that book is really explaining to everyone, like every single person that reads that book, you'll get this awareness of actually when you're brushing your teeth, when you're driving your car, opposed to just being in the flow of doing that because you've always done it and your unconscious mind is just doing it. What you actually start to do is you start to notice and you start to become aware of your breath. When you start to become aware of your breath, very similar to the power of now, you're coming back into the present moment, which is going to bring you that presence. And one thing that I fucking love about you the most is that we can just sit and stare at each other with full presence. And guys, it is so powerful. When we first met,
Here we go.
Here we go, guys. Buckle on in. So when we first met, one of our mutuals was like, you guys would love each other. You have the same energy. You're so high vibe. You fucking want to help humanity. You've got big missions. You'd love each other. So I was like, fuck, let's hang out. So we went and we met. We actually went and met at kind of like a bar, even though neither of us drink. And we both sat there. And actually, I remember you being like, this is one of my songs that's playing. And I was like, oh my God, he's so cool. I'm literally sitting with like a famous DJ. I'm like, he's so famous, right? In my head. By the way, guys, P.S., when I was a little kid, when I say little kid, I mean like 18, 19, 20-year-old. And I was like a party girl. I remember thinking, oh my God, Teddy Cream is so cool. And then I remember when I became friends with you, I texted my brother and I was like, I'm hanging out with Teddy Creams. I was like, you're so cool, right? Have I told you that?
No.
And I was like, full fangirled you. I was like, oh my God, he's so cool. Still think you're cool, babe.
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome, babe. So we're at this bar, and then anyway, we just literally, we were just sitting in presence, just sitting there staring at each other. And then we started going into like, what are our spiritual experiences? What are our spiritual beliefs? What do we believe in? What are our values? All that kind of stuff. And then he was like, let's meditate. I was like, okay. So off we trot back to his house. And he's got these beautiful, he did have in that house. You've now moved to Burleigh, right?
I moved to Burleigh, yeah.
Yes, I need to come over. And I'm just inviting myself over.
Sure.
Of course.
Always welcome.
Thank you, babe. And so had these big, beautiful mirrors in his living room. And he was like, go and sit in front of the mirror and just breathe and sit and stare at yourself. And so I did this, right? And like during my evolution of my spiritual practices, guys, I've done this several times off and on, but probably not to this extent of depth that I already had within myself at this point. And so I'm sitting there and I'm just staring in the mirror and I start to see myself form into this like older lady. Do you get that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so wild, guys. Go and sit in front of the mirror and stare into one of your eyes and breathe deeply and give yourself presence and push yourself. Go longer than 5 minutes. Go longer than 10 minutes. Like go 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes and see what happens. That oneness, like you were talking about before, is what I started to experience, right? Of like that cracking heart open while we're oneness, everything is everything. And, as above, so below, and so as within, as without. And it was just, everything was just like mushness of everythingness, isnessness, right?
There's no words to describe.
There's no words to describe it. We can't human.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. And we just stood there staring at each other. We're just like, there's just so much depth of presence.
There was like a solid 3 hours of just like,
just no talking.
but that's so precious, right? When you can be with someone and you don't even have to say anything, but you're just sitting there together being in love.
Yeah, it's just it's full love. It's like both love just radiating through us to one another. Guys, we actually both want to not keep doing the podcast because we just want to be in presence with each other. We need to make this like a really regular thing where we just presence each other. I remember you actually telling me about one of your spiritual teachers that you had. You guys just got on Zoom to each other and you didn't even talk.
Yeah, yeah.
You just shared presence.
Yeah, his name's Isaac Shapiro.
Okay,
If you want to look him up, he's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, same thing happened. Like I did a Zoom call with him. He popped up on the screen, started crying. Didn't even need to say a word. It's kind of like when you can be with someone that can hold that level of presence, it's kind of like a purification.
Yes.
That's my experience anyway. Because we spend so much time up here.
Yeah.
And when we can drop into our body and to just be,
Yeah.
it's like it feels like there's a cleanness, a crispness, a pure, like just pure being, experiencing pure being. And that is, people often ask me, like, like, Brandon, you've been so successful and like all that kind of thing. And I would actually define success as inner peace and presence and love. Like,
so
I love doing all the stuff that I do and, running successful businesses, but nothing compares to being here and loving whatever is here.
With your businesses, what has been some fundamental things that you have learnt that you could pass on?
Really treating the people that you serve with as much devotion as possible. And I know that you do this, Natalie. Like I like whenever I watch your stories and like I can feel it. It's like, damn, it's like your energy is so high and like you're here, like you're on this mission, like made over like $1 million in your business. Insane. But I know that at the deep core, it's like I know how devoted you are to your business and to serving those people.
Yes, thank you. It is devotion, isn't it?
It is a devotion.
It's a devotion.
It all stems back to love,
Yes!
right? The reason why I'm in business is so that I can serve and love people well.
Fuck. The reason I'm in business is so I can serve and love people well. That's the best quote. You should get that. You should get that fucking quoted and signed. I want that fucking
That's
sign on
good.
t-shirt. That's bloody good.
Yeah.
We'll write that down for later.
Done.
Guys, write it down.
Yeah.
Put it on a t-shirt. Babes, are you wanting to fucking build an empire and be an embodied millionaire? Okay, I've got you. The Oracle is a 12-month mastermind full of women that are already peaking at 15, 20, 30K months and are wanting to fully embody the codes of the millionaire. This 12-month mastermind is nothing like I've ever done before. There is 3 retreats that'll be all around Australia. You get in-person events 3 times a year, plus access to my Light Codes practitioner training, as well as chickens and a dashboard every Tuesday and every second Thursday a training. This is for the boss babes that are wanting to build their fucking empires, that are fully pioneering movements. If this is speaking to your soul and you know you want to be called forward into a higher realm of intuition, of dedication and full devotion to your mission, the link will be down below. And so with your DJ business, what has been a real highlight for you that you have loved watching unfold?
Yeah, well, playing at Creamfields Festival every year in the UK is incredible.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's the biggest festival in the UK. And
Wow.
I still can't believe that. Like,
That's so cool.
Every day I wake up, I'm like, wow, like this journey of life.
Yeah.
So yeah, DJing. Like I've played in a lot of different countries, and I'm so blessed and privileged and honored to be able to do that. And yeah, it's so good.
Cool. And so what about your students? What are the key things that you teach in your DJ agency to help people reach their goals?
Yeah. Well, strategy is a part of it, but it's just a little part, right? The most important thing, and I'm sure that you will agree with me,
Oh, gosh.
is to believe in your clients more than they believe in themselves.
Always.
And when they can marinate in that frequency,
Yeah.
they're gonna fucking thrive. They're gonna flourish because, most people don't feel, I would say most people don't feel bold enough. Like everyone has these big dreams,
Yes.
but a lot of people don't have that person that's like, you can fucking do it.
Yes.
Like, yes, do it. Like, because most people are like my, parents and all that kind of thing are like, be realistic, get a real job, be safe, comfort zone, all that kind of bullshit. And it's like, no.
Let's go fucking big or go home.
Yes.
Yes. I'm
Yes.
just
So,
saying.
like, I'm sure you do that for your clients as well.
Yeah. I love saying to people, like, you've always got me in your corner. Like, I will always be there holding you at your highest timeline and showing you what's possible. Like, I have one of these beautiful clients. Her name's Jazzy McJazzo. If you're listening to this, I love you. I've nicknamed her Jazzy McJazzo as well. I fucking love it.
Cool.
And when I first started working with her, she was doing $1,500 a month. And I was like, she's like, I want to be a millionaire. And I was like, yes, babe. She's like, my partner doesn't think I can do it. And I was like, yes, babe, you're going to be a fucking millionaire. And I just held that timeline for her. I was like, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And to be a millionaire, you need $83,000 a month. And I was like, you can fucking do this. Sure enough, 4 months after working with me, I think she's done about almost 90,000 in a month.
Wow.
And I'm like, babe, it's the belief of like, I was like, yep, come up here, you can do it. And of course, her soul's just like.
And how good is that feeling when one, like.
My baby's coming from
I remember once I was walking through an airport and one of my clients sent me a message being like, Brandon, I just got booked for my first interstate gig. And I literally like screamed in the airport and I was like, fuck yes. It's like, but that's why we do what we do, right? Is to bring, like for me, I've achieved most of my goals in terms of DJing. So now taking these DJs that I'm working with now and like sharing my wisdom and knowledge and experience and helping them have those same wins, it's just like that joy and fulfillment all over again.
Yes, it actually is.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Or even just like, getting a message from someone just saying, thank you, you've changed my life is what keeps me going. Because there's bad days, there's good days. I would say 99% of my days are incredible, blessed days.
Have you heard the quote, a bad day for the ego is a great day for the soul?
Oh, no, I haven't. I love it. Thank you.
I think, Ram Dass, a teaching that was really profound is that suffering is grace. And I look deep into that and I look back at my addiction and all the overdoses and all of that. And I honestly don't feel like I would be able to hold this level of presence and love if I didn't go down and experience those dark places, because it allows me to feel so much more compassion and empathy for people. And I can relate to people that are like really struggling. And so I don't think there are bad days.
No, I think that's
I
such
think
a
every
beautiful
day
way.
is a teacher. Every day is a blessing.
Wow.
Life is so precious.
I think that's so well said. And also too, I believe this, there's the law of cause and effect that, there has to be polarity in absolutely everything. There has to be the dark that comes light. And it's that double edge of like, you can now actually hold and transmute both energies.
Yes, like alchemizing that pain and that suffering into gold.
Yes. And now you're so light because of it. It was like, it was a huge blessing, right? Same thing with my big drug addiction and the depth of the soul that I had been to. I now is actually why I am who I am today. And it was like, I'm so grateful for those lessons and I'm so grateful for those experiences because it really has led me to being this beautiful woman that can hold all these beautiful clients and that can hold this level of success and this level of money and this level of gratitude too, right?
So good. How many clients do you have?
I would say almost 100.
Wow.
With different
That's
group
cool.
containers.
I'm just over 50 now with my DJs.
Wow. So
So-
you've got group containers?
Yeah, it's a group.
Cool. Just one group?
Yeah, one group.
One group. Wow.
group.
So how many hours a week do you actually have to work in your business?
Most hours.
Really?
Most hours. But
Yeah.
but I don't
How much delivery?
I don't separate work and play.
Cool.
It's all play for me.
Nice.
It's all, and I think being able to stay present, here we're back to presence again, right? But being able to stay present and centered and in that space of love and service,
Yeah.
you can work as long as you want.
Absolutely.
It's when you are in resistance and stress, that's when burnout, exhaustion, all that happens.
Mm.
If you're just centered and peaceful, I can go all day.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
One of my clients, It was like 10:30 last night. I messaged one of my clients and she goes, Natalie, do you ever not work? She goes, it must be that 5D energy you have. And I was like, no, babe, this is just me.
No,
I love what I do.
I can't do this thing that you do.
Can you not?
I can't do it. Look.
Okay, go try the opposite way. Like,
Nah, it's just not meant to be. But I love that you can do it.
thank you. That's so
Very good.
funny. So actually there's so many people that can't do it. And a lot of people ask me, can I tape my fingers together? And I was like, no. You either do it or you give
This
up.
is my one. Rockstar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Love it. So beautiful, man. Thank you so much for coming on today. Is there one last piece of advice that you would give to all of those inspiring entrepreneurs who are wanting to get to their next goal?
Find your tribe.
I love it.
Connect with beautiful people that are going to inspire you and empower you and lift you up. You can't, I don't believe you can, if you really want to thrive and get to a level that is beyond what most people think you can, you need people like yourself, like, you know, like you need mentors. You need to learn from people who can hold that high level of vibration and bring you along on the way. So yeah, finding a tribe, finding good mentors, and also enjoying everything. Because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, there's a lot of shit that comes up. It is the greatest personal growth work that you can fucking do.
Yep. I love it. Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste. It has been so lovely to have you on. So guys, if you would like to learn more about Brandon, you can look at the links down below. All of the details will be there, the show notes and everything else that you'll need to find this beautiful man. Thank you for coming on today. It has been an absolute pleasure of presence. And guys, I will see you on the next episode. If you would like to leave a review, please go to Apple Podcast and Spotify. Also, one lucky person will win a one-on-one with me each month, valued at $2,500. All you need to do to enter is literally leave a review. Please tell me about your favorite episode and what one key takeaway that you've learned, that you've loved. I would love to hear from you. Until then, babe, keep spreading your love and light. Been curious about light language? Wanting to learn more about energetics in the fifth dimension? Are you wanting to break through from your current level of dimension of where you're at? If you get 5D activated, you'll get everything that you want. I have created the most comprehensive light language modality in the world. Join me January 18th, 19th, 20th in person in the Gold Coast with me and my beautiful team to help you become a light code practitioner. This is the first light language practitioner training literally in the world. You'll be a certified light code practitioner. You'll also be a certified light code healer. We will teach you about tapping into your past lives and all about the psychic gifts that you innately have. If you would like to find out more, click on the link below or the link in my bio.